Everybody, I've missed you so much. Thank you for tuning into part 2 of Letting Go. This week I'm going to be talking about my personal experience with letting go, how I've been letting go, and like last week I talked more about, or I showed you guys more about letting go of material things. This week is going to be more about letting go of emotional things, of baggage, of things that are holding us back. So thank you for tuning in. I thought that this week would be the perfect week for me to come to you all bare naked, transparent, no makeup. I'm a little congested, so excuse me, but we're going to have a lot of fun, so thank you. Let me tell you the story about my car, because in last week's video, I showed you all that I got a new car, and you all really don't know the backstory about what happened and why I needed to get a new car. So, I had told the Lord, I had been directed by the Lord to go ahead and clean out my old car. You know, I was putting my faith and my works together to show God, yes, I believe I'm about to get a new car. So what I did was I cleaned out my trunk of my old car, and in doing that, I had to throw away a lot of things that meant a whole lot to me. And it was hard, and I cried, and it was, you know, very different. I didn't think it was going to be like that. But right after I cleaned out my car, I'm telling you, 2 hours later, my car breaks down. There was nothing wrong with my car. Like, car I've been driving, you know, whatever. So my car breaks down. I'm upset, and my car basically was my last tie to my past. And I had been praying to God. I said, God, I need this car. Not just for the fact of getting a new car so it can be clean and fresh and stuff, but I need a new car so that I can release my past. Like, this is my last tie to my past. So mind you, 2 hours later, my car breaks down after I tell God, show God that I'm letting all this stuff go. And I was having to use my mom's car to go to work. Thank God for her. And Tuesday comes along, and I get a new car with the thankful help of my cousin. I love you so much. But God is good and God is faithful. I now have a new shiny black Toyota. Oh my God. Now, let me tell you this thing about the Toyota, because when I was in high school, when I was going into my senior year of high school, I had a car, and it was a black Toyota Camry, and I love this car. Like, it had leather seats, I think it had air conditioning, like it had a CD player, you know. Back then it was just like the car was everything. So I got into this really bad car accident. My car got totaled, and it was very traumatic for me, and I felt that that was something that was taken from me. And now, me having this shiny black Toyota Corolla, my car's name is Black Rolla, because it's a Corolla, and now me having this Toyota, it's like God is bringing back those things that were stolen from me. And I truly believe that that's going to happen in the rest of my life as I continue to let go. In the video last week, I had cleaned out a lot of my closet, a lot of my clothes that I hadn't already thrown away, things that had reminded me or held me in a certain mindset about my past. And I cleaned those things out. As you saw, I went and just got rid of them. And honestly, it felt like I was driving, like when I was going to drop the stuff off, it felt like I was driving to go cash a check. Like, I knew that because I was letting go of these things, I was going to get a return on my deposit. Like, God is awesome, and He's been doing that so much for me. I mean, besides even just my car. But I want to get more this week into talking about the emotional part of letting go. A big part of letting go is forgiveness. And I say that because until you forgive someone, you are not able to move on. It's like having your arms full of something you're holding on to, and you're not able then to receive what may be like right in front of you. And I had to realize that in order for me to continue to move on and continue to let go and be successful in letting go, I had to let go of the hurt and pain associated with past relationships, associated with what I went through. And letting go is not as easy as it seems. Now, one thing that I've learned about forgiveness, because I've had to forgive people in the past, is that it's a decision. It's something that you decide. You have to put your mind to forgiving people. or else it's not going to happen. And you have to have the right reasons behind why you're forgiving these people. And my reason for it was I want to move forward. I want to obtain what the Lord has stored up for me that I can't receive until I forgive. What I've been doing, with the help of my friends, I have been journaling, and it says the best is yet to come. I got this from my best friend. I love her so much for giving me this. It's so pretty too. But journaling out what goes on with me, no matter how hurtful, no matter, you need a place where you can outlet, not just people. You need a place where you can let out your emotions, admit things to yourself, without having to censor yourself. And when I say censor yourself, I mean without having to hold back certain things because you're not trying to offend so and so, without censoring yourself. So I have been journaling. This is something that is not easy for me to do because I realized that when I first started it, I was holding back, even in my journaling. Like, there was things I didn't want to admit to myself that I was hurt about, but as I've been journaling, I've been releasing those things and really being upfront and honest with myself as to why I'm upset, what has made me get so mad, or what is the thing that's causing me not to forgive. And through journaling, through just being honest with myself and these pages in this book, I've been able to really let go of a lot of stuff. And yes, sometimes I'll journal and I'll cry, sometimes I'll journal and I'll laugh, but it's helping me to appreciate myself more, and it's allowing God to enter in those spaces that maybe I wouldn't have explored any other way. When I say I decide to forgive, that means every time I think of a negative situation, or I have this memory come to my mind that's very negative or reminds me of my past, I try to replace that with something better. I try to think more positively about that so that I can release and let go of all those negative emotions that are associated with those things. Okay, I've just been very prayerful about those times, about those situations. I've been asking God, Lord, give me a forgiving heart. God, allow me to be able to let go of these things and not find it so important to hold on to them anymore. Allow me to have faith in believing that, once I let this stuff go, once I forgive, that, you'll release to me all these blessings and things that you have for me. And one thing that I woke up thinking about this morning actually was how unnatural faith is to us. How unnatural it is for us as flesh beings growing up, where everything that we perceive is based off of what we see. Faith is not natural to us. It's something that must be taught to us. And the more that we interact with God, the better our faith will increase. But, generally as people, we base everything off of our senses. What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What does it look like? And having to trust God and believe for things that you can't see, that you can't smell, that you can't taste. It's hard, but it's possible. And, I thank God for taking that time with us to help us to believe. And yes, that I went through these situations, but that as soon as God called me to these situations, He also called me to a place that's higher than this, because I have to overcome it, and to overcome something, I had to become a bigger person. So I thank God for the faith that He's given me. I thank God for this journey of forgiveness that you all are walking with me on. I pray for you all. I ask that you pray for me, that I'm able to forgive and get over these things. I've seen definitely a drastic change in myself, and in who I let around me and things of that nature because of this journey that I'm on. And I thank God so much for His love, because God could easily write me off, no matter what I've done, no matter how many times I've preached a sermon. He could easily write me off and give up on me, but He hasn't, and He's still sticking with me. And I thank Him for His grace, because I've been taught that grace is, thank God for my pastors. But grace is like time. You heard of a grace period. It's time to get it right. And I thank God for giving me that time and, allowing me to heal, because this is so important for my future. So please be encouraged to forgive, not just let go of the baggage and start a new life and all this different stuff, but to release all the hurt and pain that's associated with your past, and allowing God to get you there through the tears and through the hurt. He's going to get you there, and even though it's not comfortable, it's something that's so necessary for your future. Encouraged. Have a great week. I love you guys, and I'll see you later.